Hey everyone out there in the land of YouTube, this is Annette Dion. I am the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. Today is Friday, September 2nd, 2022. I have a lot to talk about. We'll see how much we can fit into, this video. I am pretty amazed at what we're seeing in the news in terms of Donald J. Trump. Pretty stunned and shocked that even this, his leaking our top secret classified information, intelligence that keeps the United States safe from harm from foreign enemies. I'm shocked that this isn't getting some people in America to see the light and to rip down their Trump flags. Pretty stunning. And today, I was sharing this with somebody earlier. Today I was out for my regular walk and came upon a house with a lawn sign that said, "Let's go Brandon." And after what I heard Joe Biden say last night, which I was so grateful that he finally addressed what's really going on, and then I saw the sign that says, "Let's go Brandon." And I know that a lot of you have to bear the brunt of a lot more of that kind of thing where you live. For me, it broke my heart for our democracy that there are people that are still supporting this heinous criminal who has put this country in such jeopardy that, but for the grace of God, we'll be okay. But he has put us at such risk, and it's indefensible for people, including the GOP Republicans, like Kevin McCarthy and Ted Cruz and all these heinous people that don't deserve to be called human beings, because real human beings care about one another. I cannot believe. Well, I can believe it, right? What do we say? It's surprising but not shocking. Cannot believe. It's like they can dish it out, but they can't take it. And I've had it. I've had enough. And I'm sure you feel the same. So anyway, the moon today is in the sign of, I should have checked. The moon today is in, it just went into Sagittarius. How did that happen so fast? Time's speeding up. Anyway, I just came in I was outside for a bit. Gorgeous, stellar, beautiful day in New England today. Where I am, you might have heard it. Please go to Bridge Cape Inn if you haven't, to watch our show, The Psychic and the Sidekick, me and Corey here, and we talk a little bit about the Schooner Festival that happens here every single weekend, and on Labor Day weekend. Every single year on Labor Day weekend we have a Schooner Festival. So on this beautiful pristine day, there were schooners on the water, and there were these old ships with these big sails, or renovated ships. Really nice, really pretty. Grateful for the things that we have. So I highly recommend, when people that have signs that say "Let's go Brandon," on their lawn, get you down. Just find other things that bring you up. That's what I want to say about that. Okay. And I just came in from a block party outside on Main Street. This place is, maybe we're talking about it too much. Everybody's coming here. Let's see where Trump is at. So he's going full on insane. I just saw a little bit of a clip on Chris Matthews' show. What's his name, right? I just saw a little clip of Trump. Apparently at Mar-a-Lago, there's a Trump, like a 45 bar. And at the 45 bar, you get to see all of Trump's memorabilia from his time in the White House. I think I spotted, there was a picture of him shaking hands with Kim Jong-un. Oh, do we think that's a lovely thing, Americans? Yes, let's shake hands and befriend and approve of a murderous dictator that sends Donald Trump love letters. So, just that snapshot, and just to think of, I don't know, what kind of person I can't figure it out, would own a bar with all over the walls, all you. You know, when I was growing up, if somebody was really a braggart, it was not encouraged. It wasn't like, oh yeah, and it wasn't endearing. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I want to hang out with that person. They think that they're the, that they're, what, doesn't smell. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm angry. What? I mean, come on. Would you have a bar that had your face plastered all over it? I wouldn't even want to have a friend that was like that. Anyway. I'm straightening the cards as I'm straightening my thoughts. Not easy with all this stuff going on. I hope you had a good week. I can't even believe it's Friday. I can't even believe it's September, but everybody says that. We can't. September 11th is right around the corner. Don't think for 1 second that Americans, consciously, definitely, and even subconsciously, are, that if you were alive then, are reminded of how much danger we can be in, because we found that out on September 11th, 2001. And last year marked the 20th anniversary, and it was on all of our minds. And during that time, Trump was at Mar-a-Lago just sharing all our top secret classified documents. The documents that keep us safe as a nation. Yes, he was. So that's on people's minds. And I do feel like after Joe Biden's speech, which was excellent, we all get a little nervous when Joe Biden speaks because he has a stutter. But when he pulls it off, man, he really pulls it off. There was a movie about a king that had a stutter called The King's Speech. I actually didn't see that movie. I think it got a bunch of awards. I need to watch that. Anyway, I know that the Trumpsters pick on Joe Biden. I mean, Ron DeSantis the other day was picking on Joe Biden, just totally making a mockery, totally making fun, and all his yahoos around him were applauding. I mentioned this the other day, I know. And he was making fun of Joe Biden squinting, as if that's a sign of stupidity. These people have to go. We know this. Let's start with that. Let's start with these people. Are they going? Are they going? Are the Ron DeSantis and the Greg Abbotts and the Ted Cruzes and the Josh Hawleys and the Kevin McCarthy's and there's so many. Are they going? That's what we're asking the cards this right now. Are they going? And by the way, on Wednesday night's show, just go to Bridge Cape Ann to watch the video. We covered a lot because I had a week off when I did my music from Maine, so we didn't do the show. So a lot happened in those 2 weeks. So it's chock full of information. So definitely check that out on Bridge Cape Ann. And while I'm at it, while I'm promoting what we're doing, please subscribe if you haven't already, and please hit the thumbs up. I know other people that have YouTube channels say that all the time, and I just don't, because I forget. But because I could never have a bar with my face plastered all over the walls. I'm just not like that. Anyway, so we're looking at, are they going? Okay, are those GOP Republican MAGA fascism supporting, fascism promoting, coup conducting GOP people that are in positions of leadership that have no business being in positions of leadership? Even Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and Andy Biggs and I think Jim Jordan last night after Joe Biden, I don't think he was off the air for 2 minutes before they started bashing the hell out of him. Are they going? The question was, are they going? Are they going by now already? Does that look like a bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. See you later. We don't like you anymore. Well, most of us didn't like them anyway. Bye-bye. I see court. I see court. I see a lot of court. The insurrectionists. We'll just call them the insurrectionist Republicans. And, Joe Biden is calling them they can dish it out, but they can't take it. It's unbelievable. Oh, Joe Biden wasn't nice to us. Oh, Joe Biden made the MAGA people feel bad. if you really loved our country and you really wanted us to be safe and you really cared about other human beings, you would not want anything to do with any of these people. If you really love this country, you would take a stand for democracy. And I just want to say that Mississippi has been on my mind a great deal. And I know that the news is covering Trump way more than they're covering the crisis in Mississippi. It's been on my mind since it happened. Because a lot of us can't imagine, and we don't because we're in denial, if we couldn't have working toilets, if we couldn't have water that was safe to drink, if we couldn't have showers, because the infrastructure was so beaten down, and Governor Tate Reeves is down there and he's putting 1,000,000 times more energy into abortion bans than he is, we need to update this water treatment plant. Global climate change is real. Despite the deniers, it's still happening. The global climate doesn't care about whether you're denying it or not. Just like what we said about COVID. Didn't care if you were denying it or not. It was real. This country will suffer immensely if we don't all participate in getting ourselves and everybody that we know and people that we don't know to vote for Democrats straight down the ticket. Because the reason the infrastructure is crumbling is largely because of Donald J. Trump's law that he passed that multi-billionaires don't have to pay any taxes. And they're bashing Biden that got the infrastructure bill passed, that got the bill passed with global climate change, the Inflation Reduction Act. So this is about, are they going? Are those Republicans going? And this is the bye-bye card. And this is new energy stepping in. It really is. This is new blood stepping in. This is the Queen of Cups and the Prince of Wands. New energy stepping in. I see this as the legal system. I see this as the legal system working. I will take a look too at how Biden's speech was for the rest of the American people. And, you know, I'm pretty touchy about all this. Somebody let the words leave their lips about Joe Biden's speech. Just a random person. I mean, just a random thought or statement after Joe Biden's speech. Well, isn't he preaching to the choir? That's not helpful. That's not useful. That's not positive. That's not intentional. Sometimes the choir needs to be preached to, and sometimes people need to be enticed to join the freaking choir. What Joe Biden did last night was so exceedingly important, because we can't go on pretending, and he did address the denial too. We can't deny. We can't go on pretending and having nobody being our spokesperson. We can't go on pretending, oh, our democracy is fine. We'll keep our democracy. We cannot. We cannot afford to do that. And I know that every once in a while I'll do a video where I'm preachy. And I know people complain about that. But this is serious. And I know that I have a group called Grassroots of Democracy. And Grassroots of Democracy started in January. And we are getting a lot of work done. And I also know that we have under 20 people show up. Usually about a dozen. And over 550 people expressed an interest. So over 500 people are getting an invitation to attend our meetings, where we're really, you know, democracy is not a spectator sport. We're really observing that, and we're together 12 heads are better than one, and we get a lot done. And I don't understand the complacency. So, maybe you guys are, doing something else with some other groups. I can only hope and pray. And I'm only being preachy because this is really freaking serious. So let's ask the pendulum. Because these Republicans, these election deniers that are winning seats, they've just said it. We're gonna make the votes go in our favor. We're gonna throw out the votes that we don't like. That is fascism. And yeah, maybe I'm preaching to the choir, but maybe the choir that I'm preaching to can sing to the masses. Anyway, I do want to look at, did Joe Biden's speech change the numbers of people who were paying attention? It did. It changed the numbers of people that were paying attention. Okay, let's go. I actually, in my mind's eye, recently have seen approval numbers. Now, let's think about this. I have seen the approval numbers for Joe Biden go up to as high as 70%. In my mind's eye, I have seen that. And I don't want to scare anyone, but that happened to George W. I don't know how high his numbers went, his approval numbers. But after 9/11, George W. was like, he could do no wrong, which is probably why we invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. Anyway, heavy stuff going on. What percentage of independents were affected by Joe Biden's speech? 10%? 20? 30? 40? Percentage of independents affected by Joe Biden's speech? 50%? About 50% of independents were affected by Joe Biden's speech. What amount of real regular Republicans that just have always voted Republican, what percentage of them were affected by Joe Biden's speech? 10? 20%? 30%? Regular Republicans? 40%? 50%? We're getting about, 50% influence. They were affected. They paid attention. 50% influence for independents and Republicans. Mainstream ones. The ones whose families always were Republicans. Those kinds. Okay. Are the Democrats going to continue to experience high poll numbers? Yes. So look, this is actually moving the needle. And that's what we need to have happen. We need the needle to be moved. I know Pat Cipollone spoke out today. I want to tell you about Cipollone, and I've mentioned this before. Pat Cipollone's energy reminds me of Michael Cohen's. Not as robust and energetic and in your face as Michael Cohen, but Pat Cipollone is really coming through when I tune into him as somebody who's actually experiencing remorse. I'm just going to pick 3 cards about Pat Cipollone. Pat Cipollone. I feel like he's a family man. I feel like Pat Cipollone, after all has been said and done, wants to be on the right side of history. I do feel that from him. Cipollone. Yeah, the guilt. He has a lot of guilt. Pat Cipollone has a lot of guilt and a lot of fear of what could happen to him. I have to look up his name. I have to Google it and find out. I think he has a family. I think he's a family man, and he wants to be on the right side of history. So I actually pick up from Cipollone that he's wanting to rectify some things, and this feels like it's because of his wife. Not just that, but she has some influence. I'll have to look afterwards. I don't know anything about him. I know, I've heard that he has kids. He probably loves his wife, and she's probably ashamed of him. Who else was I picking up on? A while back when Bill Barr, I was picking up Bill Barr's wife was really angry at him and really like, now you better start telling the truth, like that. That's what I got. Cipollone is actually, oh, this is interesting. Pat Cipollone is aware of things that Donald Trump did that are actually scaring Pat Cipollone on behalf of our country. And that's part of the reason that he testified. He actually has done a turn towards our country because I get that he's frightened for America, not for himself. For himself kind of goes without saying. But I feel like Pat Cipollone is scared for America. And I don't want to freak everybody out, but it's pretty scary what's going on. It's pretty... There's hope, but I'm just telling you. Grassroots of Democracy meets on Saturdays also. Thursdays and Saturdays. Saturdays are great. We sign petitions. We chit-chat about what needs to be done, and then we actually do, it's a hands-on kind of a time. It's 90 minutes. Grassroots of Democracy at gmail.com. Type AYE in the subject line. Let's do this. Okay. How's Joe Biden feeling after the speech last night? I really feel the energy, and I mentioned this before, the energy is so different. The energy is so different between the audience, the people that are listening to Joe Biden. It's almost like, what did the lawyers call it? The normal, team normal? It's like Joe Biden's audience, the people that were there physically in person, is like team normal. That's what the lawyers, that's what some of the people around Trump were, when they were testifying, were saying about. There's team normal and team crazy, that's for sure. So how's Biden feeling? Let's take a look. Biden knows that something's going to happen. I feel like Biden has intelligence about what's being planned. By the MAGA people. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Joe Biden is aware, which is part of the reason that he insisted on giving that speech. He's aware of specific plans. Now the Tower card is just giving me that message. It doesn't necessarily mean an attack or violence. I do see some violence, but I'll just be frank. I'm being very frank tonight. The moon's in Sagittarius. We're very frank, and I'm a Sagittarius. So this is about Joe Biden's aware of what could happen. And I actually feel like he has very real information about that. So he knew that he had to do something and do it quickly, do it fast, get people. That was like, you know, last night's speech was Joe Biden sounding the alarm, like a fire alarm, but not a drill. Be ready. I mean, when fire alarms happen, it's usually just a practice. It's not that. It's that there's a fire coming and we need to make plans. I do feel like our national security has been beefed up. I do feel like our national security that's in place is putting plans in place for the violence that is being promised by people like Lindsey Graham. And don't think for a second that Lindsey Graham wasn't taking dictation from his buddy Donald J. Trump, who he just loves to pieces. I don't know why. Well, we all know that DJT has something on LG. I feel like Biden's feeling good about it. He's feeling good about what he does. Feel like he moved the needle. Biden feels good about what he said. It's kind of like when you really need to say something, you really need to say something, you really need to say something, and it's just really on your mind, and then finally you set it up, you make an appointment with the person or whatever, and you're like, I'm just going to say it, and you go and you say it, because it's really important to say it. And then when you leave, it's like, at least I said it. At least it's out there. That's how Biden's feeling right now. At least now it's out there. It's been said. Some things just have to be said. Sometimes that's why I write certain songs. It just has to be said. And it's probably time for me to write another one. Very much so. If you're an artist, please do art, please create. If you're a writer, please write. I mentioned earlier the Let's Go Brandon sign that I saw, the lawn sign. And I really, since I was walking, I just kind of hung out in that little area for a while, just kind of seeing if there was anyone there that I could say hello to. I'm serious. It's a very, safe place. Anyway, I'm going to write a letter to that person. I'm not going to sign it. I'm going to write a letter to that person with the lawn sign that says, "Let's go, Brandon." And I'm going to speak from the heart. Anyway, I'm saying that because if you have something on your mind, you need to express it. We need to be expressing how we're feeling. So if art is your medium, if you want to do a painting of the, America right now, and, maybe a healing, maybe a painting with a heart and the United States healing. I know there are people that watch the psychics on YouTube that are highly creative individuals and highly spiritual individuals. It's a right brain thing. So if you can draw a picture of a heart over America, do it. Paint a picture. Write what you need to write. Express it. This is a really important time for us to all just be engaged and visible. Very blabbery tonight. I apologize if it's too much. I'm going to switch gears away from Trump. And we're going to go back because there's so much going on. But I just want to switch gears to Mississippi. This issue with the water treatment plants, if we tax the billionaires, we wouldn't have these infrastructure problems. And now we're starting to see, this is a really tough time we're in. I'm not seeing any relief for the challenging times for at least 2 to 3 years. Doesn't mean it's going to be consistently horrible. It does mean that, I miss the days when things were peaceful in the news. We all do. We have to learn from everything that's going on and strengthen our country through all that's going on and strengthen our, environment for sure. So we're going to go to Mississippi. I'm telling you, the governor was all about, we'll go across the board, abortion bans, and he was on TV and he was talking about it because he's really Christian and we have to save those babies and we're going to provide for all those babies, on and on, taking away women's health care, Meanwhile, they can't even drink the water. Is it just me? Where I live, we're at risk for that kind of thing. I just can't shut up about it. I'm telling you. If there's an issue that you need to speak up about it. This is Mississippi right now. They're in a bind. Now, if you were Jeff Bezos, wouldn't you send him $1 billion? I would. It's a drop in the bucket for him. Bill Gates might come through. Let's see. Is Bill Gates going to help the people of Mississippi at all? No, I don't see that. I think Bill Gates is going to, since the rich people will be taxed, but I don't feel like Bill Gates is going to ignore it. I went no to yes. I think he's thinking about it. The infrastructure bill is going to help, right? Taxing the wealthy will help a lot. Thank God Democrats are in office. Kevin McCarthy can take a hike and all the rest of them. So this is Mississippi. This is horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I think it's despicable that the news isn't covering this more. Because when the news covers it, this is like a Hurricane Katrina level disaster. When the news covers these stories more in depth, people will know. They'll know what's going on and they'll know how to help. So might be worth writing to MSNBC or, some or CNN. We'll delve into CNN for a second. I'm very upset with CNN. The new CEO is very Fox. Very Fox, if you know what I mean. He's trying to change CNN to be more fascist. I'm getting rid of CNN. I don't watch that very much anyway, but I do have the app to get the news headlines. I'm getting rid of CNN. And I'm going to let them know. And I encourage everybody to contact CNN, let them know you're not going to watch their program anymore. And for that matter, contact CNN's advertisers. This is what we've been doing about Fox. Talking too much and I forgot what I was asking. Let's see. So that was Mississippi, and let's look at. I'm going to take a look and see if is this going to start happening in other places, because we're all losing our infrastructure. If you have a house, you have to maintain it. Things fall apart. I was just talking to someone today who inherited his mother's house, big house. She didn't have anybody on the second and third floor. She didn't want to deal with it, and big house, and things, the roof had leaked, and the things got into such state of disrepair. These people have a little bit of money, so they'll be able to fix it up, and then start renting the apartments. But I'm just making the point, if you just let things go, even in your home, and some of these water treatment plants, this infrastructure, these pipes and everything, a lot of them haven't been replaced for 80 years. Or properly maintained for like 80 years. Good Lord. No wonder they were having all that trouble in Flint, Michigan. All right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at infrastructure. Oh, this what's going on with the infrastructure is going to endear people to the Democrats, because have you heard a Republican promoting, or have you heard of a Republican recently standing on a platform of, I want to run for office because I want to really help people and help fix the infrastructure? Have you heard any GOP leaders talking about that? Or are we just hearing them talk about that Donald Trump won the election and Joe Biden is dumb and senile? People, it's up to us. I do see things, now that the spotlight is really on the infrastructure, because of Mississippi and because of the storms that are coming, there'll be more of a focus on infrastructure. The star card is the United States. Yeah, actually, I had said this a while back. All the natural disasters that are going to happen are going to make people understand that it's only the Democrats that have any interest in helping them. Donald Trump threw paper towels to the people in Puerto Rico after the horrible hurricane that they had. We've had so many hurricanes. I don't even remember what the name of it was, but he threw paper towels at them. Do you think the Republicans are going to help people that are suffering from natural disasters? Ted Cruz went to Cancun. That's how he got his name, Cancun Cruz, and left little Snowflake in the house, waiting by the door. I'll never forget that picture. Poor Snowflake. They don't give a rat's ass about anybody but themselves. Tell the people with the Let's Go Brandon signs on their lawns. Pass it along compassionately, because they really don't know what they're doing. This is, I do feel improvements in our infrastructure. Well, we're passing bills. It's a miracle, really, it's a total miracle. Okay, now, I'm actually trying to think of a light topic, because I'm laying it on pretty heavy tonight. Last night, Oh, I don't know what the name of the show was. Sometimes I just randomly pick something and I fall asleep at the end of the night. With it on. But anyway, I happened to get through this one. I highly encourage you. It was on Amazon Prime, and it was just a movie, and it was really sappy and really syrupy about this nice lady who had money, and she just was so kind and wanted to help people. You'll see it if you go to Amazon, the video. My point is, when you get on overload with how infuriating the news is, and we have to know what the news is. We can't just ignore it. We did that way too long. Democracy is not a spectator sport. I got that from Sadhguru. Democracy is not a spectator sport. Just for balance. I don't know how people watch violence, honestly. Just for balance. Watch something sicky, sweet, and sappy. That goes for the guys, too. We need to look at Ukraine. We need to look at what's happening with that power plant. I mean, my readings have said that the UN would go in and would help to avert danger. And we looked at it the other day, so let's see. Is the power plant in Ukraine experiencing radiation leakages? It is. The power plant in Ukraine is experiencing radiation leakages. Okay. Is it affecting the nearby population? It doesn't look like it. So I mean, those power plants obviously must not be like right in the population. Let's take a look at a few cards about that. We did talk about these things on Bridge Cape Ann too, so check out the Wednesday video. They're very long. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I'm not the kind of person that would have a bar and pictures of myself all over the walls. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so in Ukraine, this is interesting because I actually feel like there's a lot of spiritual energy around that power plant. I don't usually say things like that. I just feel like there are spirits around the plant that are guiding the people in the plant and that are preventing it from a core meltdown. The Russians, this is about the Russians just not knowing what they're doing. Those Russian soldiers don't even know about radiation sickness and poisoning and how it could kill you. You know, pray for the people that are in there. Pray for the Ukrainians especially that are in there, that are having to work at gunpoint, probably with no sleep. But I do feel this spiritual energy that's going to intervene and keep that plant safe. Not totally, because it is leaking radiation. All right, let's check. Okay, I was looking for a lighter topic. Is Artemis going to take off tomorrow morning? Is Artemis, the space rocket that's going to the moon? They're going to hang out there for a while, but it's not manned. Is it going to take off tomorrow? Gosh, it doesn't look like it. I guess the weather in Florida, I don't know. I haven't checked the forecast. I thought they said that they were going to give it another shot Saturday. That's what I thought I heard, but with so much news, it's really not easy to catch up and keep up with everything. Lindsey Graham, I'm going to take a look at Lindsey Graham. I did look at him the other day, and he had terrible, terrible cards. So, he's not winning when it comes to not showing up in court in front of the grand jury. So, let's see. How's Lindsey Graham doing now? I'm just doing 2 cards for Lindsey Graham. Bye-bye. Lindsey Graham, it looks like, is it jail time? I see prosecution. Is Lindsey Graham going to jail? It looks like it. I said the other day, I don't think you could survive prison. It might be, is it actual prison? Or is it like a country? Is it actual prison? It's not actual prison. He will be prosecuted. Lindsey Graham will be prosecuted. Is it something like a minimum minimum security prison. It's like a minimum security prison. Whoa! I think we're going to see some action. And I really do feel like Donald Trump he's just digging himself into a deeper hole. Saying that he's going, when he gets into office, he's going to pardon the insurrectionists. Full pardon. I know we have to go back there. We're going back to Donald Trump because I feel like he's being emboldened by something. He's being emboldened by something. And I did hear, and I have had this on my mind, I did hear Michael Cohen say something, just a quick little clip, about, I have to go back and watch that. By the way, Midas Touch, I'm trying to think if I saw that on Midas Touch. Subscribe to Midas Touch. They have a YouTube channel. They're awesome guys. They talked for like an hour after Joe Biden's speech last night. So join Midas Touch. Go to their YouTube channel and join them. Really great guys. There are girls too. It's mostly guys that I hear talking there. But I feel like Donald. I'm just getting kind of a vision of Donald is feeling emboldened. And Michael Cohen was saying that. Do you remember when I was saying that it feels like a kind of a standoff, like a Waco kind of situation at Mar-a-Lago, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye? And we will look at when, we'll see if we can get a time frame. And then Michael Cohen said something about Donald Trump would hold the country hostage. And I'm a little concerned because he's acting so emboldened and so brazen. Let's just ask the pendulum. Is Donald Trump planning to hold America hostage? Is that what he's planning to do? I think it's giving me the runaround right now because it's like, it's not, I'm probably wording it wrong. It looked like a yes, kind of. Is he planning to use our secrets against us? Is he actually planning that? Not getting that. All right, let's take a look. Michael Cohen also said that, I think Michael Cohen might be psychic, a little bit. He also said that Trump would never leave the White House peacefully. Well, he sure was right about that. He couldn't have been righter. Why is Donald Trump acting so emboldened? What's up with that? By the way, while I'm thinking of it, I have room in my schedule if you would like a reading. So write to AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. And I apologize if we hadn't gotten back to you yet. I know my assistant's been kind of busy. AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. I'm telling you this now because I have plenty of room. And you want a reading, right? You definitely want a reading. Okay, so Donald Trump, he's going to kind of end up in a not good position. Like, I feel like he's emboldened, and he's thinking about some kind of a holding the country hostage situation. But I would say that he's doing that right now, in a way. I feel like they're going to get to him. They're going to get to Donald Trump before he can do such things. Is it going to be out in the open when they come and get him? No. I kind of feel like they're going to arrest Donald Trump at the time that he least expects it. Is that what's going to happen? Well, you know, and I'm having images of like John Eastman being like, you know, they were respectful, but they took his phone, the FBI or Secret Service, I think it was the FBI. They stopped him in the parking lot of a restaurant and they said, "Sir, we need your phone." And then he was like, oh, you can't do this. I love how these people are just going, you can't do this, you can't do this. Like, well, you're a criminal, you committed a crime, we know you have the evidence, and so you are doing something illegal, and so we need to take this from you because you're under investigation. Is it me? It's like, well, you committed a crime. So you don't turn it around until, like, if you got arrested and you really did something that was a crime, would you be turning around and going, you can't arrest me? Not if you did the crime. I mean, you could say it, but would you really be believing that they can't? Because that's the law. These people are lawless. I mean, I have to laugh when Trump is talking about being the law and order president. What? Remember, everything Donald Trump says is backwards. It's he's pointing to others and saying they're doing it when he's doing it. We know that by now, right? That's like old. We're on to that game. Is this country going to be okay? And when I'm asking that question, first I'm going to ask, is this country going to be okay when it comes to our national security? And I mean, like, will we be safe? You know, they have to scramble all the information that was in those documents. What did I see, like 10,000 documents? It's beyond reason that he's not in jail. Well, we're in a tight spot. This is about our national security. They're looking at the damage that's been done. They don't know what to say. Remember I just said a little while ago, Joe Biden, because I saw the tower card after his speech, Joe Biden was on to some plans for harm internally within the country. When Trump is in the White House, I kept getting, the calls are coming from inside the house. Just that there was so much nefarious stuff going on inside the White House. This is about our national security. These cards are like, it's damaged, it's bad, our government doesn't know quite what to do, and is just keeping it in balance. The Temperance card, this does indicate some angelic protection too. Tuesday night at our group, we have a meditation group. We meditate for 20 minutes on Tuesdays. AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Type 20 in the subject line if you want to receive a Zoom invite. We were doing, some of the visualization was in our guided meditation that I facilitate. Putting a dome of protective light around the United States. And white light infiltrating all these dark areas, all these dark corners. Speaking of darkness, I'm going to real quick look at Ron DeSantis, who's just off his rocker. Really, it's bad. Where's he at right now? Remember the other day I said I see him just drowning in a wave of something. Drowning in a wave of something. Maybe that's literal. Maybe that's about a hurricane. But I was feeling more like it was more like legal matters. That's what I was referring to. Is Florida going to get hit with a hurricane that puts DeSantis in a bad position? Yeah, Florida's going to get hit by a hurricane that puts DeSantis in a bad position. More than one. More than one. Is it more than one? Is it more than one hurricane? Okay. You know what this is reminding me of? Mississippi. It's reminding me of Mississippi with Mr. Reeves there being so concerned about taking away women's rights that he just let the water treatment plant not be addressed. I'm sorry. He wasn't paying attention. And DeSantis, Florida gets hit by a hurricane. You think he's going to help? Ted Cruz went to Cancun. You think they're going to help? This is what you have to tell the Trumpsters. They won't help in a disaster. And last but not least, just because I have to ask, is Donald J. Trump going to announce that he's running for president? I don't get that he will. Am I getting no because he's going to have too many legal issues that are too many legal issues. And I think I promised you this one too. Is Donald J. Trump going to be indicted? Is he going to be indicted? Why are you just staying still? It's Donald Trump. It might be something else. Is Donald J. Trump going to be arrested? Oh, he's not going to be indicted. He's going to be arrested. Whoa. Okay. Is it in 1 week? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Is Donald Trump going to be arrested in 4 weeks? In 5 weeks? Come on, you told me he was going to be arrested. 6 weeks? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, I apologize. Is Donald Trump going to get arrested this year? Sometimes you just have to put the pendulum down. All you who took our pendulum class, it's not giving me clear answers. So I'm just going to ask the cards. We know that time is hard to predict for a psychic, and I'm not just going to tell you something just to tell you something. It's not giving me a straight answer. It did say yes, he'll be arrested. He will be arrested. It's not giving me a time frame. We have too much on him. That's what I have for you tonight. It was a lot, and there's a lot more. That's the ridiculous thing about it. There's a lot more. Please write to CNN and tell them that you disapprove of their new programming. They're taking the people like reliable sources, Brian Stelter's program. We don't need any more of that. So I want you to be optimistic, and so watch a Hallmark movie or something, right? Or comedy, or laugh with your friends, be outside, do nice things, go for long walks, write in a journal, whatever you're into. We will get through this. We just, I tell people all the time, you have to set your intention. We don't want to keep the trajectory in the dark. We need to shift it to the right, to the light, the right direction. I love you all. Church of Spiritualities every Sunday at 1. We have a new theme for the month of September. If you want to know what it is, you're going to have to check it out. Alright, I love you all. Thank you for your support and your kind comments, and give yourself a pat on the back for being awesome. Lots of love. Bye.